Good morning, everyone. I think the volume is working. Everything is on. Yes, let's double check. I need to put this one off quickly. Just want to check the sound because sometimes it does not really. Yep. Good. There we go. Checked. Okay, here we go. London time. Again, my apologies for missing London yesterday. But here we are. We're back. And yesterday was pretty shitty price action in New York session. But let's see what today has to bring. Hey, Method Z, how's it going? So, I'm sort of confused with this week always, like, because of the 2 a.m. Model, because London time has gone back 1 hour, but Eastern has not. So, it's sort of like I always notice in my journaling, it's always a little bit off. So, I am still using the 4 hour candles though, but then again with the 2 a.m., using those specific times, especially with the 150 model that I'm tracking. I think it's going to be, everything is going to be normal again after next weekend, right? Because then Eastern also goes an hour back, right? With daylight saving times. So it's always, this week is always a little bit challenging for my time-based models when using the London times. But yeah, everything's doing fine. Doing good, and I hope we're going to get some better price action today. But if not, it is what it is, and we'll just stick it. I think learning how to be more patient is also actually really. I'm actually quite proud of myself of getting more patient and not taking trades and just waiting and just. So I guess there's always growth. There's no matter what we're doing. So. Have you already been trading with or seen something? I'll go over some stuff. So yesterday we did have SMT with silver at the in the PM session, which actually was the only was actually a valid trade for gold, but it was still quite tricky though. But I guess there were no retests anything, so it was right over here, I believe. We had. Am I on the? Let me just double check. Yeah, I'm on the right one. So we had right into in this very NWOG. You can see we did not hit the midpoint, and we had SMT right over here, and with silver, and we did go down a little bit, and even a little bit further into Asia, and then it went back up again, right? So it did not. I was actually anticipating it would go here, but it did that during the 220 move Eastern. So everything is belated, right? Because I call it ping pong. It goes between the NWOG to the event horizon. And I was hoping it might do that maybe yesterday already, but it did not. And silver did do that. Silver really was when this Bill Clinton, what an honor that he was. He came to my stream. He asked about silver, and so I just double checked. Okay, I can have a look. But it was really beautiful. Silver did go exactly to the event horizon, a little bit below it, and then it went back up into. So it was really doing the ping pong, and oh yeah. So let's see if. Yeah, we have to be very. I think it's also with the rate cuts tomorrow. It could be that today might be choppy as well. It's a crazy week, so we just have to be aware of that, I guess. But so on days like that, what that teaches me again is like, okay, you really have to be very vigilant and have shorter trades because it did not go to those levels, but it did go. Did it hit this little gap, or what did I? Not even. Yeah, nothing was really retested. It did use these. It did use those root candles a little bit, but then again, it was very hard to. Yeah, it rejected of this rejection block here. So yeah, I would use this rejection block then. And then it went back up, but then yeah, it's just back and forth, back and forth. But I think the only trade then was actually the silver, and then a little bit it goes back to model 2022, I guess. Well, no, we did not really take out a high, so it doesn't really apply. Just shit. I cannot make anything of it, so I'm just going to leave it here. quickly NQ. Then I'll go over today. Now today, what I do like about NQ is that we had this breaker yesterday and there was no retest at all, right? It was a beautiful breaker with, I'm on the 5 minute by the way. There was a breaker here. And in that breaker was the first presented fair value gap and no retest of either. So I marked this one and I'm keeping it on my chart as well because I wanted to see, I want to see a retest of this area because is it a higher time frame break? Let me check the 15 minute because if it is, it's even more. Let me just go over it. Oh, I need you to go away. Yeah, you need to go away. Why are you always popping up when I say you have to leave? Ignore warnings. Yes, I already ticked you many times, and every time you come back. Is it a higher time frame? Okay, we have one here as well. Okay, I'm going to mark this one as well. This is a 15 minutes. This is interesting. Let me see if we go on the lower time frame if I can find anything here. We need some, days like yesterday, you don't have any retests, so it's really hard to get a good trade, right? Because you don't know if it's going to continue up or if it's just going to slam down or whatever. So there was literally, it did go into fair value gaps, but there was no retest of breakers. There was just no retest of hardly anything. And then I go back to my root candles, but even that was pretty tricky sometimes. But I guess that was more, that gave me some guidance, but even then it was still really hard. See, and even here we have a 15-minute breaker, and it didn't even tap into it as well. Is it a breaker? Well, hi. Yes, it is. We can consider this. Am I saying it correct? Or is it an order block? No, it's not really it's more an order block at this point. No, I'm just going to leave it. I consider it an order block. No. No, I would rather on the 1 hour use this wick. I'm just going to leave that because for me the wick is more important. So you guys know that I love wicks. Let me see on the 4 hour if I have a nice, no. So I like this 1 hour wick. So I'm going to grade that for NQ because I want to see rejection there. If we do tap into it, I would like to see, because some people use order blocks, some people use the rejection blocks. It's all, it all comes down to the same thing. It just depends on what you like looking at. Why are you not changing? Okay. So here we go. So I mark this 1 hour wick. And probably if you mark the midpoint of that order block, we can double check that. And if you do that, you'll see it's most likely, let's see if the midpoint is the same as the yellow midpoint, right? Let's have a look. What I like here with that midnight has been tested, but then again, it went back up. So still a little bit tricky price action, but I want to see if that, let's go to the midpoint of this line, see if we can see anything, if we can find out what the midpoint of this one is here. I love doing these things. I'm going to do a different one. I'm just going to do the bodies. Let me see if there's any. I need to do it correctly. Here we go. Okay, we do the bodies of this one here. Okay, we have the 0.5 matches up with the 0.33 of the wick. Now, you guys know that I use the 1/3, right, on my rejection blocks. And if you would grade this, well, let's call it an order block now. The bodies, the 0.5 is exactly on the 1/3 level of the hourly wick. So that's interesting. And let's just do the whole bodies. Let's see if that gives anything. Okay, that doesn't. No, I always use only the bodies for measurement, to be honest. For these things, I do. Well, you know, I love wicks, but on these things, I just do the bodies. But I like it. Okay, so it's either the 0.5 is the one that, yeah, and I'm just going to use the wicks because for me the rejection block that gives me, you know why? Because sometimes it uses 1 or 2 or sometimes even 3 points of that rejection block before it really goes down. So that's why I would rather have my quarter and 1/3 as well. It just gives me sort of guidance. And when you get consolidation, a lot of the times you see it consolidate within between these gradients. So what I did now, I gave it colors. So my 1/3 are red and my quarters are blue, and the midpoint is yellow. So I'm going to leave my 1 hour and I'm going to write it down, otherwise I'm going to forget. I'm only going to write it down in my 0 on my midpoint. 1 hour. No, it's 1 hour. I have to write it down because at some point I forget when I scroll through different time things. Here we go. Let's go back to the 5. No setup again. I mean, it's still, it's not very, there's nothing from me here yet. Now, what I do like is that these times are in one of those AMRP levels, which is a volatility, measured volatility range. So that means that this becomes a high probability area for me at some point. Let's see. So we're just going to wait. What did we do in the 4 hour NQ? Okay, so this red line is the settlement price, and we've been tapping into it for the 4 hour from 6 o'clock. 4 hour, I'm in Eastern, talking Eastern, right? And then 10 o'clock, and this one is now the 2 a.m. But again, the 2 a.m. It's always with this 1 week. With my time-based levels, it's a little bit off, so I'm not marking it at the time. Let me just get this one. There we go. Yeah, so on NQ, I would love to see it go down into this fair value gap and then have another look what it's going to do. I think this NWalk, I wouldn't be surprised it's going to leave it open for a while. It is so bullish and just so strong and highly manipulated at the moment. And if you look at this the large manipulation block here, we haven't even gotten to 2%. So for me, the 26,188 level is a point of interest. As you can see, I've got 2 confluences there. The 0.66 with a 2 standard deviation. So this one is, this has I've been writing this one down already, the 26,185. And then, that is a valid, when you go to a standard deviation of 2.5, you can expect a retracement before it heads up to 4. So let's see what happens. So this one is my interest. Let me just mark it. Well, I think I have it marked already. That is for now. 26.5. We got midnight here. We have been retesting midnight so far here. And let me just, I'm going to mark this 4 hour fair value gap because I think it's going to be, we might need these levels. Where are we in the sense of, I just want to see if that area, where is that level, that 4 hour? Look at that. Look at that, guys. Yes, I love it. So remember this one, you see this one that I'm marking here on the 4 hour is exactly that breaker and that first presented fair value gap of yesterday. So we've got a good area now. Here we go, exactly in the start of it is exactly the midpoint. Ooh, I'm getting very interested now in a short. Yeah, I think I'm getting ready. I'm gonna leave the gold for what it is because I really want to focus on because we didn't have a retest yesterday in this area, and it's exactly in the 4-hour fair value gap here. We've been retesting midnight one time. We did not go over it here. We're at AMRP plus already, and we have an MRP low below us. So yeah, I'm getting very interested in this. I think I'm already getting in now. I'm very interested in this short. Let's see, what time is it? 3:35. We are below. I'm going to go to the 1 minute. Why? Because I want to see the 1 minute first presented fair value gap of London, which is 3 o'clock, right? But then again, it's still, we have to, the time is a little bit confusing for me with this week. We've got the 312 root candle here. I want to see it go below the 312 root candle. It's this candle here. I really need, we already have a break of the retest of midnight. Here it doesn't even test midnight anymore. And here we are below the a root candle, the 0.008. So it's showing weakness, right? And we have a 4-hour fair value gap here, which is exactly the breaker and the first presented fair value gap of yesterday's PM session. Now, Meta, you know, right, that if we, the 2 a.m., when we started watching that 2 a.m. 152.10 macro, it always sort of like navigated towards that first presented fair value gap of the PM session. So I do think there is some logic to those working together. So I'm still trying to figure out how they, but you know, I think it goes in cycles. So I wouldn't, and obviously now we're 1 hour. Yeah, so it should have already been in that area, maybe in 3 o'clock, right? Yeah, if it goes 1 hour back. But let's see if it's going to head towards that area, because I'm just, you know, this is such a beautiful area. We've got this here. Yeah, I'm getting in. I mean, I'm going to have a very tight stop loss.
Order filled.
It's a micro, guys. I'm going to do it on here as well. I might be a little bit too early, but I don't really. Let me show you the. I want to show you the breaker, the structure that was yesterday. I'll go back to the 5 because it's very clear on the. It was this area here. We got a low, high, low. We have a breakthrough here, and we had the first presented fair value gap at 135 in this area. 0 retest, nothing here, nothing. So, and it's exactly, this is also exactly in the 4 hour, as you can see the line, right? On the, let me show you here. This breaker is exactly the start of the 4 hour fair value gap. The 4 hours. So this is for me a high probability area now. Plus it's also in the calculated range of the indicator. So let's go. Let's go. We are below the first presented already. Oh, I'm going to connect my funded next because I can do both. I can. I found out that I thought I could only do one, but I will connect them as well. I can have one a tab with paper trading and one with my funded next account. So I will do that. I forget to do that all the time. I sort of like having it on a separate computer because I have sort of like a nightmare from one time that my computer crashed and I obviously was in a trade. So I was always thinking like, oh, I have to have one thing separate, but then again, it could still happen on the other one as well, right? Okay, TP is going to be all the way down. It's going to be a large trade, guys. It might be in it for a while, but you know I love these larger ones. I'm going to all the way to here. This is my stop loss. We might get a little bit of accumulation. Oh, hold on. That was a little bit of manipulation. You see that? I love that. Stop loss will be, because it's a larger trade, I don't mind. It's going to be just above midnight because 61 ticks, but I'm aiming for quite a bit of a move. So I'm okay to have a larger stop loss here. I'll go to the 5 minute on this one because it's going to be a larger move. That's important. Here we go. I'm actually going to bring it down a little bit to insight because I wanted to retest it here. Still a 5-hour trade, I guess. Okay, this might take a little bit of time. Anki, are we back in play? Are we back being friends? Now, the only thing is that it might reject here, obviously, because of the, like I said, the midpoint of that order block. Well, we'll see. I can always get out. I might take another trade and get out and then leave a run or two here. So, but I need a good entry. Let's see if I can get a good entry. And I'll add another one for a better entry. Because the macro hasn't started yet. Now it could go all the way back up, right? Let me just double check. Yeah, no, we need some retest. Come on, NQ. You need some retest, and then you can go back up. We don't mind, but give us some retest. So I just want that 4-hour wick retest, and then I'll be fine with that, right? And look, I do like how it's sort of like getting weaker, right? What I'm basing it off is wick through midnight, no more, even doesn't touch wick midnight, doesn't, it goes even lower. Every wick is now getting lower. And here we have equal lows, so we like those, right? Those were 115-ish. And Asia, well, they take out Asia, but you know, it's getting weak. We are below the first presented already. So it looks nice and weak. So I'm not afraid of those manipulation wicks. I'm okay to be stopped out if it's above midnight because it's a valid analysis for me, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. I just journal it and I learn from it. So I do expect it to react here, especially at this level here, the 934, because that's exactly the 0.5 level of the order block, right, which we measured. So I'm leaving these lines on just to see if it's how accurate. These are the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour rejection block that I'm using, or let's say the wick. So I'm just because I'm still back testing that as well. Well, actually, it's forward testing. I just want to see how it's going to react on that wick before it takes the liquidity and goes into my level that I've marked out here. I would think it could, if it would make its way down, that it really wants to go into that 4 hour for a value gap, right? To take some internal liquidity and then go back further up. But then again, it could wick me out. It could just go up and just, say, well, not today, Iris. Nice try, but this is your first red trade. Your red trade of the day, and we don't care. We don't care about your analysis. Nice try. Nice try, babe. Next time better. Could be. Could be. But anyway, yeah. Just have a look. What time is it? 3:45. Okay, yeah, it's also not macro time yet, right? So it's okay. But I like it that it's below the first presented here, and bodies are. But I really wanted to see it get below this 312. This is really for me. This would be the confirmation where I would add. Actually, I should not add there because it's better to look at this 1 minute. It's just horrible still, the price action, but it looks weak. Okay. Okay, I'm in the green now. I'm not in any drawdown at the moment. Just keep it that way. Just keep on going a little bit lower. Okay, there we go. Okay, I like what I'm seeing. Now, I just, if I add, see, I should have added when I was talking about it instead of now, because now I don't have a good risk. So I want to take one off here, and that's not a 2R, unless I put my stop here. Can I move my stop? Can I move it? This is a gap. I don't. I don't know if that's valid. If I can frame that properly. This is a gap, and I just a little bit too. See, I don't trust this one at all for now. I cannot do that. No, I'm not going to do that because I might be wicked out here if it goes back up a little bit. So I'll just leave it. I just have to leave it. I cannot add now. I cannot frame a proper add without proper risk reward. It's a 3R trade. Okay, that's fine. You see there's a gap here, right? Now, I'm just a little bit wary that it might just wick into that area. But let's see if this. Is it valid? This is true. Hello, Philip. Oh, you like another jab at the high? Yeah. So, well, but the thing is, what I am seeing, and what most of the times in my journaling I have noticed, but hey, then again, it's most of the time, it can be wrong. If I see a retest of midnight with a wick through it, then another wick going low and not even touching it, and then a wick below this time frame, it sort of like indicates for me that it might not do that anymore. But then again, hey, it could always do it, right? But that's why I'm basing it off. And then, but I do see now we have a new model printed, and it actually does give it above the midnight. So there could be a chance that I'm stopped out. It is a possibility because now in the 1 minute, look, we have a wick in the first percent to fair value gap. So, and I don't like that, to be honest. But it didn't take liquidity, so let's see. But yeah, I guess what you're saying. I also like, but at some point I just need to take a little bit of an entry, right? Because you know what? Because of the it has been so. Yeah, and the only thing that I am not seeing right now, what I'm expecting that is the manipulation. So what I'm thinking is that we are in consolidation now in the accumulation phase, and the manipulation move will be in the 4-hour fair value gap, and then get the distribution move again higher. So that's why I'm sort of like trying to. Hey Eugene, hey guys, Eugene is here. We have to big shout out to Eugene. Eugene has been working really hard, and I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I might have sorted it out at some point, but I would still be busy right now with the Discord. So thank you, Eugene, again for what you've done so far and making it look so clean. Yeah. Eugene, what is your, do you have any analysis on NQ? So I'm bearish for this, for this session. There is a 4-hour fair value gap that I'm aiming, and that's also yesterday's 5-minute breaker, which we didn't retest with a first presented fair value gap as well. So here we go. I'm already in. I couldn't frame a good add-on, so I'm just in with 1 micro because I'm now I'm aware I'm aiming for this level here because it's a 4-hour fair value gap, but I'm aware that it's most likely going to reject from here because there's a large wick. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm going to take the DTT off because we don't need that information. So I want to have a cleaner chart for now. Here we go. So these, so this is my trade. 1 micro is the first trade of the day. Yesterday I had 1 L, so I'm still a little bit careful without getting full in. Ooh, see, that's what I mean. I didn't have enough coffee yet, so I'm sort of like getting. If we break this low, it's a good setup. We have a gap. Yeah, exactly. So and this is the a level that I marked yesterday, and it didn't retest it. I was waiting for that retest, and it didn't do it. So I'll show you on the 5-minute. You see this breaker here, the orange is exactly the start of the 4-hour gap, and it was a 5-minute breaker. We were aiming in the PM session. Well, you were still busy on the Discord. We marked this breaker here, but it did not even retest it at all. And these are the levels of a 4-hour wick or 1-hour wick. So first presented fair value gap in a 5-minute breaker, which is exactly matching up with it. Oh my God, you scare me. I've got these storks here, and they live on my balcony. I've got everything living on my balcony, monkeys, but now everything. But they make so much. They sort of like come to say hello. Can you see them? I think it's right in the view of the. I think he wants to be on stream. Oh yeah, you can see him exactly. Let me move my head. He's exactly right over there. I guess that noise was. I think the mic has. That's really hello. So they always sit on my the ledge here. So anyway, always. Oh my God, you're very noisy. I like you, but. I guess they want to say hello. We also have trumpeter hornbills, and those are really, really noisy. I don't know. Sometimes you'll hear them as well. Well, they're called trumpeter hornbills, right, for a reason. Yes. Okay, but anyway, trade is going well. Let me manage my. Here we go. Now I do expect some level of rejection here, but we'll see. And that is because of this 1 hour of this wick here. It's this wick. See? So that will cause some delay to the downside. So let's see. Well, it's always good to be in a trade that is in the green, right? Who else is in is anyone else in the short in NQ? Or you have a different bias, a different, maybe a different TP. Let me know. Yeah, I'm just taking I definitely agree with you, Eugene, because I'm just taking it to that beginning of that 4 hour fair value gap because I'm just in with one contract. I did not have. I just didn't get in with the second one. I thought, let me just take a. Then I would take one off here because the 0.66 was exactly the midpoint of a order block. So I think that's a very interesting level. So we'll see how it's going to react here. And then my idea was to leave a runner here until here. But now I might, if it really is going to bounce up very, very hard here, I might take it off. So I'm just sort of like contemplating what to do, but we'll see. It might just cut through it really fast. Um, I think it's time to, I can lower this a little bit. Just confirm. Yeah, I just don't want to go too low because I mean that's always something that I'm working on now. If I move my stop too fast, I get stopped out, and then being stopped out in profit it's fine, but when you're really working on improving your larger moves, you don't want a 1R or 2R trades because you see sometimes if I start too early, if I get stopped out and the full stop out, sometimes it's a stop out, because my stop outs are a little bit larger than if I go for a 5R trade. Obviously, I give myself a little bit more room to have a larger stop out, right? So I need those trades to work. Okay, I don't mind this. Why this is happening. Let me go back to the 1 hour. You see this wick here? I should have marked that as well. Exactly at 0.5, right? So I did see that when I was looking at this one, but I thought, okay, let's see how much it wicks into this one. But I'm still confident in this trade. But because of this wick, we have a little bit of a delay again. But we do want it to go back. It does. I don't want it to really go back up from here. That would be really a bummer, to be honest. So it's exactly this midpoint of this wick, which is a rejection block, right? But something else that I want to share about that. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I think that's very, very valuable information. Yeah, it hit it exactly, the midpoint. Now, I don't like that, to be honest. But let's see if it goes back down. M in at retest seems a good entry. Oh, do you have a retest? Okay, good. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, I could have gotten back in. I have it went straight back to my entry point here. I could have gone in, but it's okay. I was talking. I'm still just in with one. It's okay. It's my first trade of the day. So I guess it's the manipulation move then of the AMD, right? Accumulation, manipulation, and then we get distribution. Or maybe are we going to even go lower? So the only thing that I didn't like, if I see when I grade those rejection blocks, and it hit it exactly 0.5. So why don't I like that? If it hits exactly 0.5, it sort of like could stall there and go higher because it is a rejection block, right? So it could be a retracement, but I prefer it when it goes over, the wick goes over it. So, but then again, the stop comes in play, but we'll see. Go away. Four o'clock. Oh, it's 4 o'clock already. 4 a.m. So Eugene, I know that you used to live in London and you trade. I mean, I guess you are very aware of the London. So how do we go about it in this week, right? With this 1 hour, London went back 1 hour, but Eastern time has not. Eastern time will go back next weekend. So how, like my 2 a.m., my 4 a.m. that I use a lot. I'm just watching the price action, by the way, because I didn't like that it tapped exactly in the 0.5. Is it like, would my 4 a.m., which I normally use, would that be for this 1 week 5 a.m.? Or should, I'm sort of gotten used to this week, like sort of like not taking it to be a little bit more vigilant, but I'm just wondering if I should add another time if I use my time-based models, or just have to move them for 1 hour during this week. Okay, let's go. We like these larger candles. Yes, I like it. I'm going to keep it just here for now, above the. Yeah, I love this retest of this fair value gap. The first presented, look how beautiful. Exactly in a macro, right? This would have been, I wasn't paying attention, but let's see, this would have been an entry that I could have added one, and then this should be it's in a gap, and then my stop loss right over here for that one. And then technically I can bring back everything. Yeah. Okay, that is valid. This one now is valid to move here. If we're going to go over this fair value gap again, it invalidates the trade anyway, so I should be okay with that. I don't want to be in the trade anymore anyway. Because I just don't like it how it's sort of like stalling here a little bit, and like I said, that the fact that it tapped, I would have rather see it if it like goes over these levels, those quarter and those 1/3, and it sort of like wicks through them, there is more chance of a continuation. But if it really taps it, it's sort of like it makes me a little bit wary. So I'm okay to be stopped out now in this, and now I can get back in if the time is right, right? See, it's going back over the 4 o'clock. Yeah, I don't like that. So
Order filled.
I'm just getting. I don't trust it at all. So I just don't trust it at the moment. A little bit. I might make a mistake here. It's actually quite stupid what I did because we're in a macro. Yeah, it was dumb. But it's not leaving that 0.5 level of that wick. This was a beautiful retest of the 4 a.m. though, in all honesty. So it was a. I just don't like it when there's not large distribution moves. I'm just not good at that. I always get not nervous, but I just get uncomfortable here. And also because of, again, I'll show you the 1 hour wick. But it looks very bearish now, so that's okay. Just want to see, let me measure this. Oh, how did I get the 0.5? It did not. Oh, that was this one. Did we? Oh, okay, we got a new hour. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, see, that's important. So here it did go over, and we have a new hour here. Okay, perfect. Okay, but you are not willing to run that fast. This is actually beautiful. Quickly have a good look at gold. Quickly have a little peek at Andre. The wick touched on the 0.5 level of the rejection block. Yeah, you saw it. But that's okay. It already is making its way through, right? It looks good to go long. Hey, Marley. No, I don't think so because it's working its way down on that rejection block. So I think we're good on the short still because the rejection, we can see the rejections on that block, and then it keeps on going lower and lower and lower. And now that liquidity, now let's show you. You see this wick? We touched, and now this is definitely becoming liquidity. And now we're going into the direction of this larger wick here, which we will see will have some stops as well. Hey, Ellen, how are you? That's a long time no see, Ellen. You were one of my first subscribers. I will always remember you. You're one of the first, Ellen. I haven't seen you for a long time. You forgot about me, but I didn't forget about you. We're in the same trade. Yeah, that's nice. Good to hear. I love that because I can imagine that people are, it's sort of like confusing, like, oh, it's ready to go back up again. But I think we're really going in the direction of this 4 hour fair value gap here. and that matches up with the level that we were trying to get into yesterday. 225,940. Hey, look at that. Where is? Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, that's mine exactly. What I've got one tick higher than you. Yeah, I'm just struggling to add. There you go. Yeah, and it is exactly in this breaker area, and we have a first presented fair value gap as well from yesterday. So that is nice that people have the same trade, right? It sort of like gives you confidence in your analysis. Okay, now let's see if it starts running outside macros. That's possible, but then again, be aware of these quarter because these lines are those 1 hour that 1 hour larger wick, right? So it's going to go down, but it might have a few wicky levels up. So it's not going to be a low resistance run to the downside. It's going to be well, maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm expecting it not to be. I would like to be surprised. Let's put it that way. And that's because of that large 1 hour wick. So let's see. I'm expecting, for me, this one, the 934. I expect the highest. The most of the reaction here, 934. How's it going, Ellen? If you have trades like yesterday, for example, in the PM session, and you mark, so this is something that I also start to notice, right? When you have an area which you okay, normally you want to see a retest and it doesn't do it. It always like gives you like the bit delayed, like for example, now this area because I was already trying to, and we didn't take a trade because we were like, nah, it's not giving any retest, so we're just leaving it. But now this level comes into play again because price always goes back, especially to breaker areas for retest. So um, it's sort of like it's never actually wasted time. That's actually the point that I want to make. If you have an area and you stick to your trading style and you really want that retest and stuff like that, and if it doesn't do it, it's sort of like nice to see it like play out then in a different session. But I guess, well, it sucks when you are sleeping now and you are waiting for this. But um, yeah, it's just the point I wanted to make, that it's never wasted time, right? If it's just intel that you have and you can use it later on. So raining gold dust. Are you in gold as well, by the way? I still have to check, but now I just want to focus on NQ. We can check, by the way, quickly. Let's have a quick look at gold. What is gold doing? Okay, so gold is in the daily fair value gap. Now it hit exactly the midpoint. So let's see. Ooh, it's weak. Nice. It's going in the direction of the. Ooh, we're missing a gold trade, Eugene. But it's okay, I guess. I guess maybe this is an easier run though to this level here now, and then we have a fair value gap here. But we cannot be in everything, right? Yeah, gold is definitely. Oh, nice. 3 in 1. Oh, well, anyway, I'm in a trade now in this one. I need to manage a little bit. I don't want to get too much distraction going looking at. I mean, if people are in looking at gold, hey, it's I think it's a nice area. It's a good trade. I hope anyone is in that gold trade. 415. Just gonna have a look again because it's just this beautiful, guys. This is really a nice. This is gonna be a nice run all the way. I think it's gonna go all the way to this NWOG. But let's see if we can get a nice. Let's see how it reacts at this level here, the 0.66, and we might be able to frame another entry if it has a nice reaction there. We cannot. I mean, I cannot enter now. I also got in at the Venom move short around 2:33 a.m. New York. Ooh, you know, I want to do a refresh on the Venom. I did. I think that's a good. Let me write that down because also I want to add that in the ICT. I'm making an ICT library as well, and I think the Venom. Where's my book? Where's my notepad? What did I do with that? I think, thank you, Alan. I need to add that one in our Discord library for ICT. I think it's more intermediate, but I think it's good to now. What happened to my notepad? Oh, here we go. I have one again. I think that's a good one to add. You know, because just want the try to bring some structure into what to do, what to study with ICT, without being too overwhelming, and just really make that are practical and people can start using them. And core content, you have to go through it. It's you know, I guess that is something you just have to go through. But I just put down the months that are really, I think, applicable, and then I left out a few months and a few videos of the core content. But hey, you cannot be lazy. If you're lazy, it's not going to work. Nothing in life will work. Okay, here we go. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to add Venom in because I think that was a very, very good video about, and very practical. And once you, and I don't know about the Reaper. If you once you start understanding it, I'm going to put the Reaper. Who does use the Reaper? I'm going to put a question mark with it. If it's, I think it's really for advanced. It's more advanced, the Reaper. But I think we can add that for the advanced. I think Venom is intermediate, and Reaper is more advanced. Here we go. Okay. I'm sort of wondering, well, no, we have to wait. I'm just going to look at this move from, oh, it's a daily candle. Okay, wow. 4 hour. This is a beautiful 2 hour candle, 2 a.m. Eastern. Where did we start? It's hard to enter though here because it's never heard of the Reaper. Yeah, it's he did was it in 2024 or 2023? But he did touch on it, but he didn't really go into it very deeply. But there are a few people that went deeper into it. But it's well, I'm gonna find the information. I'm gonna put it because it's exactly one of those things that extremely let me put it this way. Once you see it, but you have to. It's like a combination of three different things in one. But and you basically cut through a lot of candles. But if you see those levels, I actually used it for a while, but I have to really refresh myself on that one, to be honest. And I'm going to do it because I know it will help me again, especially for those longer trades, to find those levels of value. Okay, here we go. So we touch the. Let's see how weak it is. I want to see a reaction here. What time is it? 21. Hello. Wow. It's just going. Look how weak gold is. Oh, Enwog. That gold trade. Oh my God, that was a good one to have. But
Order filled.
I'm just. This is just something. I'm just doing something. I'm not getting adding anything. This is not. It's just a demo. Another demo account that I have. I'm just. I'm not entering gold. I'm not. I'm eager to. Okay, so this is, you see what I would like to see. This is what I always want to see around this level, is that it goes underneath it and then it goes back up into the range. Now for gold, I am getting interested to find an entry. If I see this happening, so this is a retracement, what I like to see, because we still have this N walk below us. Obviously it's a higher time frame, so you get a wick below it, and then I would love to see a retracement and then enter into that. But hey, it might just run down further. Now let's see if gold gives us an entry. So this is how I use those gradients. I just want to see it. I love it when it goes through it, because that gives you that just a very solid retracement. You get back in and then it goes back further down into the 75% or that level, or all the way to the end walk. But when I see it sort of like hit one of those level exactly, it's sort of like what we were getting now at NQ. It does go down, but it's just such a. I wanted to see it wick through those levels, not stop exactly. So the bodies then go back into, like here you can see. Oh, it's very weak. Is it going to give us an entry? No, I don't think so. It's just very weak. It's on a mission, gold. It is on a mission. Yeah, but and then again, where would it go back into, right? Because we have this fair value gap here, here one. Is anyone in that short of gold? I mean, imagine if you've been in that. Yeah, we were looking at NQ as well. So um, Yeah, so you had I marked an entry on gold at 303. These times it's really now very. Oh, but look, it is going up a little bit. So I like, you know how, I mean, this is a very good. I was waiting for this, and if it does give us, let's see if it's going to give us some opportunity here. 303. Let me go back into my. I'm going to use my AMRP levels. Yeah, we might get a good end. We might still get an entry on gold though. Let's see if we can manage to combine it a little bit. Oh, what am I doing? We can leave NQ running and see if we can get an entry on gold. But then, where are we going to enter? What is a valid retracement? And if it's going to give us a retracement? Yeah, and you know the end walk is in the AMRP zone, so it's such a high probability that's going to go all the way to this level 3913. This might be a nice reversal trade just to let it run and just wait. Maybe the NQ trade plays out and then we can just hop over to we jump from the NQ short into the gold long. Yeah, I'm not gonna enter. It's just too risky. But then again, we'll wait. I thought NQ. Yes, I saw the wicks, but I didn't expect it to run this way. To be honest, a little bit. I'm a little bit disappointed in how NQ is running. Yeah, I've got everything is Eastern on my chart. Yes, my charts are Eastern time. Correct. Everything is Eastern. New York. I have all my laptops are on Eastern time, and my telephone I changed it back to South African time because sometimes I was when I have to meet someone. Um, I will be late or too early because I was just confused all the time. So I need something on South, but I live literally on Eastern time in South Africa. I guess that's um, yeah. Is something wrong in my charts? Do I have something? I think we're still on UTC 4, right? And we're gonna go to 5 in a week. Yeah, it's all okay. It's all good. We have to change next week. We have to go to I believe UTC 5. But this is always a confusing week for me because we have London changed already and Eastern has not yet. So next week everything will be oh, and Q. Why are we in here in this one? It's annoying. Yeah, everything was synced at some point, so it's now on it's now a normal time. Correct. Yeah. Hey, you live for the if you live. Hey, listen, I'm married to NQ, so I guess. Well, actually, I'm not married to NQ anymore because now I'm now also adding gold, and now I'm actually regretting getting into NQ, and I want to get into gold now because, but again, we missed that move, so. We'll quickly have a look at gold because we might be able to get the reversal move. Even though it's a move down, if I look at it, right, it's a beautiful 4-hour candle, but look at this price action. If you got in, Ellen, the time that you mentioned, what is this line here? Oh, that's a 0.5. Okay. What did I measure here? What is this line that I have mentioned? I've got a line here. What did I measure? Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay, I want to show you guys something. Is it this one? Yeah. So the IPTA 20-day look back, right? And we are below the 0.79 already from. So I was bearish on NQ before the weekend as well because of the IPTA 20 leg. And we had all these levels here, and once we go below this level, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to go even into this level here. Just using all these levels here. But we've got this N walk first, and let's see what happens here. And if we might go even all the way. Yeah. Okay. We don't need this one anymore. I might have to put on the IPTA 40, the 40-day look back maybe. But then we'll see. Let's see if we're going lower than the 40-day look, 20-day look back. We already went lower than the OTE levels. So we're really, really, really in discount. But I don't see a valid order. I mean, I don't think this order block will be will hold everything up. We've got another fair value gap here. So let's see, we might have more movement to the downside on gold. Let's see. The range is overextended now, so it is a little bit. See, the average range is 81. We already made 141 points on this move, so we are definitely overextended. 0.4 here, but hey, oh, beautiful. You see, again, when I saw that one candle hitting that 0.5 exactly, I always, in my journals, it always says, okay, it's really like, it is not a normal move that it moves through those rejection blocks. It's like a valid rejection, which will take more time. So, and that was that 1 hour candle, which exactly hit the 0.5 of that 1 hour rejection block. And it always gives this, it always gives this price action, or most of the times. And again, this is going in my journals again, because it's if I see that again, I think next time I'm just going to get out, because it just is too much time, right? If you sit through, even though I guess it is a valid trade if it will go, but look how much time you are spending here. But I guess we might be rewarded at some point. Bodies are not going over the 4 a.m., so that's good, I guess. But it's the time that you are sitting in a trade. Are you? Is that, you know, time is money as well, I guess. And you miss another good trade, but it's okay, I guess. It'll run. Might run fast now. So I think I what I could improve as well is I marked these ones, but I should have marked the other wick that was before it to anticipate this movement, to anticipate this price action. Let me put it that way. That's a little bit better to put it. And then again, we might have some delay in this area, but definitely it would have been a better. Also, it would have been a little bit better to see the other wick. So this could be a little bit anticipated. Let me put it that way. Yes. Okay, so now let's see if we can have a little bit of a movement to the downside. It does really, you know, if you look at it, it does really, you know, give you the confirmation. Here is the, you see the retest of the midnight, the retest of this fair value gap, then you see the wicks go through it and then lower out of it. Then you have the retest of the first percent of the London session through it, lower, then the retest of the 4 a.m. So it's being consistent, right? But it's just slow, and I'm very curious to see what happens at this level, if it really goes back up into the range to grab some liquidity. But we'll see. And this level might be in play maybe for the later in the pre-market, or maybe even in the AM session, right? This could be the case as well, because it's so slow. GC, what are you doing? Okay, you're going to be on the 15-minute. I'm going to put you on the 3-minute. Now, what I really like, guys, is the following. Let's say if it hits the N walk. Now look at this area. This is the event horizon. Again, it did not touch it. No retest of it. So if we get a nice, maybe we get a V-shaped recovery to the upside. But I would like to see, because we didn't have a ping pong Monday on gold, and with ping pong I mean ping ponging between the N walk and the event horizon and to another N walk. You sometimes see that happen on Tuesday. So we might get, even though it's rangy, but then you can use these levels. And because we have we have now liquidity on this side here, which is, for me, it's liquidity already. Why? You have this block. This is already a rejection block. So now this point is liquidity, and it's just below the event horizon. So this has my interest. So let's see if it hits, you know, I'm not doing anything in gold until it reaches this level, and then see if it goes either lower or it might retrace all the way up to here. And then for me, it's going to be a long, definitely. I think I'm going to mark this. I'm going to put an alarm on this level now, just to make sure that I don't miss it. Yeah. Only once. Otherwise, my neighbor's going to drive me nuts. They're going to be angry with me. Okay. I'm going to wait until we hit that level and now focus on NQ until we. But hey, listen, I'm aiming for gold. I have to do things, but I'm not going to miss that trade if it's going to go back up. You retrace. Meta, are you talking about the NQ? Yeah, no, the levels that that where I have got my TP is exactly the start of the 4 hour fair value. Correct. That's why I put it there. That was that was part of the analysis, and it was exactly the level that we were looking at PM session. It was a breaker, and we were actually waiting for a retest of a breaker, and exactly the first percentage fair value gap of the 130, the New York PM session, is in the middle of it. So, but then again, we have to take into account this wick that is above it. So it will take a little bit longer to get there. But I put an alarm on NQ or on gold when it hits that N walk. It's going to be interesting to see if it's going to reverse there to give a retracement. I think it's going to there's more downside for gold. I think so. But let's see if we can maybe catch a quick reversal. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe I should put gold on the next on the side. Right? I think we all like to see. I think everybody's trading gold here anyway, so we know enough. Let's put gold on the, and we have to look for SMT when it goes all the way down. Help me remember. Help me remind me. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the daily fair value gap because we don't need it anymore. We know the bottom is the. There we go. I'm going to get rid of the alarm because otherwise it's going to make a lot of noise. You will hear it as well on the computer. It's going to be nasty. I am going to leave these lines on. I'm going to change them to the colors because then we know exactly. Here we go. These levels are important also for the retracements. You see, also on NQ, it just created equal lows, right? Triple lows even. So I think I just want to get. I think I want to get out of that trade. To be honest, I'm just not interested anymore. It's just too. It will take it out at some point, but what time did it do that? Um, 410, 420. So we are below. We are above the midpoint of this body already. Yeah, I think I'm gonna kill this trade. I don't like it anymore. It's taking too long. Um, yeah, it's just not worth it. I mean, it's just I'm gonna kill it. Yeah, and again, it's just it's just sometimes it just I'm gonna show you guys again what I was looking at, and it's sort of like it's all those little algorithmic signatures that give you which one was it? What did I see? I can't remember. This one here. Did I see anything here? Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, here we go, guys. Yeah, you see this? Here we go. 0.66, 1/3 level, and it goes back into this. Now this is really a no-go zone now at the moment because it's going to go back into this range, and this is going to be a rejection, so it's going to be back and forth, back and forth. So it's bye-bye in Q for now for me. If I'm going to measure this one here, you'll see. I'll keep this just on to keep an eye on it. This how it's reacting into this level. But you see, using those wicks, I mean, I'm still, sometimes you miss one and now this one is not in play yet, so I'm going to take this one off here. Here, bye-bye. But now this one is more applicable instead of this one. That's why we had this area of resistance, and definitely, like I said, these levels are very strong, and it goes all the way back up. Okay. What time is it? I actually need to do something, so I don't think I can stick around. I wish I could for gold, but I think I just have to let it go. 10:49. Do one more macro, but then I just there's really no magic to it, right? Once you start using these wicks, you can really see all these levels, and you can really sort of like not predict, but you can expect certain behavior, right? And I was focusing on this wick, which was incorrect. I should have been focusing on this wick here, which would have given me more insight of the behavior and understand it was going up. I could see from the behavior, okay, it's not doing what I want, so I'm getting out. And I'm happy that I did, because for sure we are going to behave somewhere in this area. And might go back down further from that, but it could go all the way back up and go into this level. But you see, um, so we did good. Technical science. It is really technical science. Thank you, ICT, for sharing that knowledge with us. Appreciate it. Truly do. Gold might pull back to that imbalance 3-4 hour candles back. Definitely, yeah. I mean, are you on the 1 minute or on the using a different time? Yeah, flat top. 3927. Three nine 27. Now you see, we did not hit the end walk, but it uses this AMRP level, the midpoint exactly, and it just wicks through it. And now we might even go back all the way up here. Let's see. Well, it's still a green trade for me, the NQ, but I'm sort of like a little bit, well, not upset with myself, but I should not have missed this wick, this one here, this premium wick, because that was the one that is that gave the reaction right over here, right? So I don't know if anyone is using those wicks. ICT did a few. His October, these last few. I mean, he's literally. Um, he literally says I actually didn't want to share that, but apparently the a higher entity told him to. That's what he said. But he's literally lifting the veil. And for me, it is a missing things that I really, because I use the rejection blocks, those weeks, but I never used these ones. But hey, Eugene, we had that trade, my best gold trade, that was because of using a similar setup on this with gold. I could have never framed that gold with the TP was literally almost to the tick, but also I was sort of like not sure, but then that wick, that daily wick, that gave me the confirmation at some point. I was going back and forth for a while, but then because I was, going over his videos and going on stream, like, okay, but this is that wick and blah, blah. And then I just, wow, if that's the case, and we're going down, and suddenly, I could see the trade go really into a bearish mode. Oh my God, if that's the case. And then I had some more other confluence that matches, and Eugene sort of like gave me the extra confluence as well, and then everything just clicked, and I was like, oh my God, these wicks, they're so they're really amazing. And you still have to figure out which one to use when. So that's in the phase that I'm in right now. But hey, listen, look where it's going, right? Look at the 0.66, 1/3 level. Yeah, but so if anybody is interested and uses ICT and believes that there is some logic to it, definitely look into the last few 2 or 3 videos that he has made. And I would not skip any of those, because that is just it. It might be a little bit advanced if you're just starting with ICT, but if you have some knowledge already, you will not regret it. And you don't watch it once, you watch it twice. because all the information that you really need, I think, to become profitable is there. I think there is nothing. I don't think it will get any better than this. I just don't think it. I was listening to, I think it was Kids. He did some Saturday, and somebody was like, "When do you think ICT will give more information?" And I mean, I thought the same thing. Like, what do you mean more information? It doesn't. It's not going to get any better than this. I mean, this is really. I really don't think he can share more than. Obviously, there is more to share, but if you start playing around with these, you'll be light years ahead of most people. But anyway, I share it with pleasure, what I learned. And I'm still making mistakes, guys. I mean, in all honesty, you start implementing it, and it's just a matter of trying things out, journaling it, and then you find, you get faster in finding the correct wick to use and what time frame. Because he only used the daily, but I don't think it should be limited to the daily, because obviously this is a 1 hour. This is the 1 hour that I'm using here, right? Because there is no daily. But you see, it's just as powerful. You can frame the reversal. Now the price action was already telling, I was like, something is off, but I didn't know. But I want to be able to. For me, the challenges and what I want to aim for myself is to be able to have every move. I want the logic. I want to find out what the logic is behind the move, and that's how I want to frame every trade that I do. I want to be able to have a logic and analysis around it that I can really bring back to some technical analysis, and then add the time element to it, and then I'm happy. Then I'm really like, okay. And then if it's wrong, I'm okay being wrong. Then either I'm missing one or two clues, and that's how the puzzle completes itself. But hey, you can't know everything, right? I mean, that's how you grow. So, we touched, yeah. We're going to go to gold. We touched the end walk, guys. We touched the end walk. Gold time. Is it like a short? What time is it? We're in a macro and we hit a very important level. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna, yeah, let's see if we can get into a trade on gold. Let's see if we can get into a trade in gold. I just want to make sure it doesn't go through it like butter, because then it's not. We're still in a macro, but sometimes a macro you can divide it in two, right? So if you have the first part, the 10 minutes to the hour to the downside, and then you can get the reversal the second. But if it goes straight through it, we have to wait. There is no reversal yet, but it could be that 5, the macro to the downside ends, and it starts creating its reversal. But I would rather see a wick. Now, what do we have further down to the downside? And we need to go to a higher time frame. Here we got the event horizon is right over here at 3,850. We might go all the way to the, if it's going to go through that level, it might be a short. But then if it retested the end walk, 3,851. 3,851. 58, 50-point move. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, no, oh yeah. I said, you know what? I like that. Now we have a wick. Hold on, I need to check something, guys. Hold on. Where's my other bill? Oh, here we go. We're back. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that's nice. So we have a wick now. Okay, let's see. We can have an inversion. Let's go. I want a little bit more confirmation, but might be interesting now for a. But if it just continues to the downside, it's going to go all the way to just take out all these IPTA 20-day levels, right? And gold has been going up for a long time, so it even might go into the 40, 60-day look back levels. But we'll see. Once it, I try not to have too much on to look at IPTA, but once if everything in the 20-day has been, all the imbalances have been balanced out, I might have to add those levels and have a look at those for a short. But let's see. We have a pull. I would love to see a nice pullback to the upside. $503. Okay, it looks like it's going to go 3851. Are we going to in for a short? Let's see how it reacts in this wick. If it's going to go into this wick and go back up, but if it's going to just reject that wick and go further down, 3851 is the event horizon between that NWOC and the next one. So then those levels are very solid to use. 503, I love that time. Could be a continuation. Yeah. I think it's going to slam down. Let's see what happens. 3851. Let's see if we get a retest of the NWOC. Is it not going to go higher than the midpoint? Beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna get ready for a trade on gold. Oh yeah, I'm getting in. Yeah, I'm in gold. So very tight stop loss because it's a little bit tricky, this area. Right above this area. I just wanted to continue the macro. If not, I'm just too early. So I'm just TP is 3851. I'm just sort of like anticipating the move to the downside. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Then it's going to be a trade to the upside. There we go. I'm wrong. Yeah. But well, let's see. It's a time. I'm looking at time. There we go. Okay, I'm still in. Good. 3851. Here we go. That's a bump. That's really good. It's going to be a good trade. Okay, so what I was using, I might be a little bit too greedy here with the TP, to be honest, but we'll see. It is so weak now. Okay, why? Nothing is running. It's sort of annoying. Okay, come on. Run. I mean, if this trade would work, this is a sick trade, to be honest. I mean, I mean, okay, get out of the box now. Just give us some distribution. Just slam down. Okay, 7 passed. I really want a distribution move now. Otherwise, I don't trust it too much anymore. It really needs to start running. Otherwise, I might take my profit. I really want to see candle to the downside. Good, yes. Just give us large movement now. This might come. It might be a very nasty, violent move to the downside. Come on, give it. Come on, give us some large candles now. Oh, this is awesome. This I mean, I just really. Okay, it's 9 past. It looks so weak. Okay, I'm taking my profit. If it would retest the end walk again, I would go back in straight away. Because it didn't retest the end walk. Did you see that? It just um now it will invalidate my trade. It might retest high and then go below it and do it later on, but it just looks so weak, right? Don't you think so? It's just too good to leave it. I would love to see a retest of the N wall, then not going over it. Next time 520, so we might have to wait till 520 for a better trade. We did normally you see it stops at the end walk and then it goes back up, right? But it went below it already, so that's a very good sign of weakness. I would love it when the time comes back that we have large distribution moves and easy to read, like price action, clearly AMD. We can really, you have the you might miss the manipulation move, but then you get the distribution, right? And you can clearly see the accumulation. That we have not had that for, well, I guess for this week. Shouldn't really come. Last week wasn't that bad. It was just bad on Friday, right? If I remember correctly. We had it was a pretty nice week. Yeah, I might be overzealous with this trade, guys. So, but it looks nice. You always have to. It's good to have. Well, dream sounds weird in trading, but I mean, this level is the event horizon, so that means the midpoint between two. It also happens to be the standard two deviations of my indicator, which I did not know at the time when I put it there. It plotted itself later on, so that's still valid. So that is like if it gets overextended, it's let's see in 520 we get the new model. We'll see what it gives. And we have a one here, so this might be maybe a little bit better to take it in. But maybe at some point I might put it on and then I have to leave and then I'll just, let it play out. And either it stops me out or not. But let's see what happens. If it would be awesome if it would just retest that, I need to check with SMT with silver because that's important. This might be a good as at 5 o'clock. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I took my profit already when we start moving up on my account. Let's see, we have S&T. Silver seems so weak as well. I don't think it's going to go. I don't think this is so weak, right? See, it went back into this gap here. It's below the end walk again. Let's see. Don't want to miss a long, but I actually have to do things, so I'm sort of like, well, let's. We do have we have a nice retest here, but outside macro, inverted this area. I mean, we had a nice move to the downside, so you would assume that we might get a move to the upside before we go further down, right? It's a beautiful little. Yeah, and Alan, you said this area here. That's well, we get a new model anyway. Um, okay. We might get some consolidation now in gold. Um, and Q is moving up again. 11:22. Okay. I need to leave it at here, guys. I need to do some things, some very important things. I cannot wait for that because it's all like very important official paperwork that I need to take care of, and I need to go to a print shop here and get it signed, commissioned, and stuff like that. I need to find a commissioner of oath, blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff. So I need to leave it at this. Well, let's go quickly back to NQ. Well, obviously we reacted from that level. Oh, did we even go lower? Did I? Oh, we actually went into these levels here. You see that? Interesting. Oh, those were that premium wick, right? Remember? And then it hit that 1/3 level, and now it's going to go back up and most likely taken out, going to the liquidity points up here. Gold, I would presume it would go up, but I would be a little bit wary until 639. Why? Because we have contracting data here, so I think we might go into a little bit of consolidation on gold. So I would wait a little bit to later in the pre-market area, and then yeah, there are some interesting levels definitely I would look at. But yeah, if I'm back on time, I'll definitely post some stuff in the Discord with some levels to keep everyone a little bit updated what I'm seeing and what I'm doing. And maybe some other people. Feel free to post. I mean, I made all tabs for gold and Q and other instruments if anyone's interested to keep each other updated. So for now, I'm going to leave it at here, and I'll see you guys later today. Thank you so much for hanging out here, and I'll see you back in a bit. And don't overtrade. Hey, we got a beautiful retest though on the upside too for gold, but I really need to my attention needs to be elsewhere at the moment. So I wish it wasn't, but anyway, this life gets in the way sometimes, right? I'll see you guys later. Ciao ciao.